All right, Jaylo, how's it going?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, babes. What have you been getting into this morning?
Not a lot. I was kind of flipping channels, and I had some breakfast, and yeah, it was good. Jumped in the shower and got dressed, and all that. Yeah.
I remember yesterday when we talked, Sunday, you had like an hour and a half break between breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like there wasn't a lot of break time, and I think it's because we had a lot of leftovers, so it wasn't, it wasn't like anything had to be prepared. Yeah, that's what was going on, I guess.
Do you expect that to happen again today?
I don't know.
Oh.
I couldn't tell you that. I thought I smelled something cooking.
Oh. You thought you smelled something cooking?
Yes, I thought I smelled something cooking. Oh, by the way,
Yes.
last night I watched Coming to America.
I've seen the film many times. It's a great movie.
Yes, it still holds up today. I think it's even funnier today than it was even back then.
Yeah, it's probably been about 20 plus years since I've seen it, but I watched it a lot as a kid, so I know it pretty well. I'm assuming, though, that you probably watched an edited version on TV.
I did, but you know what? I mean, even though it was definitely supposed to be more rated R-ish, I still thought it was funny. I just thought it was so funny when Mr. McDowell calls Daryl, because he liked Daryl for a while because he's like, oh, Daryl's rich, right?
Yeah.
And he calls him over because, he's like, oh, Lisa should be back by now, and this is, of course, before he finds out that Hakeem is the prince. And by the way, Hakeem was played by Eddie Murphy, not Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall was... Yeah,
everybody knows that. I remember I was the one who told you thought that Arsenio Hall played the prince.
You know why I did? Because there was that one time where Patrice was told that Semi was the prince.
Yeah, but that's not like a scene or...
Yes, I know, but remember, it was such a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah. But babe,
that,
do you really think that a young Eddie Murphy is going to...
Are we going to go here? Are we going to go here? Are we going to go here?
There, but I was clearly right. Can we agree on that?
No.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. In an attempt to diffuse the situation, I think I did. Anyway, mixture aside, that one part where he calls Daryl and someone knocks at the door and Patrice is like, who is that? He's like, oh, Jehovah's Witness. And he runs to the door and is like, Lisa doesn't like you anymore. Don't you understand that? Yeah, but she told me to... And he closes the door in his face. And I love the music. I love that music when the king and his and the queen come to New York. The African music, it's really cool.
I really enjoyed the scene where they go over to Mr. McDowell's and he sits the queen in his like lazy boy chair.
Yes.
So did you watch it from beginning to end, or did you jump in late, or how did this work?
No, I watched it from beginning. I watched it from, well, it was pretty much the beginning, because remember when Imani comes out, she was supposed to be his queen. And it was like the ceremony where they picked the queen for Hakeem.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, because it's his 21st birthday.
Right. And you know that song when I don't know what guy Eddie Murphy was playing, but he's like, she's a queen to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was born to serve you. It's like, okay, no, but I want to know what you like. What do you like? It's like, anything that you like.
You know, babe, you could learn some lessons from that lady.
Yes, but I wasn't born in Africa.
No, but I'm just saying, she probably has some wisdom about relationships that you could glean something from. I'm just saying.
She's a robot, Bubs. She's a mindless robot. She doesn't know how to think for herself.
She probably has some lessons there for being in a relationship.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying, babe.
Hey. No. No, that doesn't work with me.
Okay, babe. So just making sure. I'm just giving you some suggestions, babe.
Although she was really funny as I love that. Do you remember that one scene? Like, you'll do anything that I tell you to do. Yes. He's like, okay, bark like a dog.
Slaps herself, right? Oh no, that's right. She barked like a dog.
No.
For some reason, I thought she barks
like. No, she barks like a dog, and then he's like, bark like a big dog. Like, okay, now, hop on one foot, make a sound of an orangutan, and she's doing that. And she's doing that for however many minutes she does it. And then the king comes in and is like, they seem to be getting along. Or what about that one scene where he's like, I'm a man who doesn't know how to tie his shoes. And he's like, you're wrong. You're a prince who doesn't know how to tie his shoes.
Tying your shoes
I
is
tied
overrated.
my shoes once.
Yeah.
It's an overrated experience. I thought that was so funny. And the part where he's getting really upset because Hakeem wants to marry Lisa, and she's like, put a sock in it, Jossie. Put a sock in it, Jossie. He loves her. You know what I just realized when I heard the Queen's voice? I didn't.
Yeah.
I think that she was the voice of Simba's mother in The Lion King.
Okay.
Yeah, so he played the voice of Mufasa, and she, I think, played the voice of Sarabi, the Queen. And I thought, wow, what a good pair to pick to be those the voice actors. But I think that's who it is. I just don't know what her name is.
So you think James Earl Jones did the voice of the dad, and the lady did the voice of the mom?
Yes.
You might be right. I don't know. I've only seen The Lion King once, and I wasn't.
Yes.
It was okay. I have.
It
more
was okay.
Yeah,
it was okay. You said you liked it. You said it was really good. You didn't say it was just okay.
I said it was good. I said it's definitely better than Aladdin. And I think the reason I may have said that I liked it is because in comparison with Aladdin, it's a much better movie than that.
Okay. Well, those movies are definitely better than The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I was disappointed because I thought...
I generally think that Disney films are a little bit overrated. With some exceptions.
But you haven't... Yeah, but you have to understand, though, you haven't seen a lot of them. I have. I've seen tons of them.
Okay. But the films that, like, everybody thinks are classics, like, the first Toy Story is definitely overrated. As far as a movie goes. Now,
it's not as good as the other.
I know why it's respected because of the leap it made in animation, but as far as an actual story and delivery, it's overrated. Lion King is overrated.
I don't think it's overrated.
Aladdin is very overrated as a movie.
I don't think it's overrated either. I think you're overrated. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no, you think I'm underrated.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. You're not overrated.
Okay, good, babes, good. But yeah, so that's just my take on it, babes.
Yes,
but they might have
I disagree with it.
Oh.
I disagree with it. Well, I guess if you weren't forced to watch some movies, maybe you wouldn't think it was so overrated.
What do you mean if I wasn't forced?
Well, remember, didn't you say that your mom made you watch some movies, and you said
Yeah. So my mom made me watch The Little Mermaid, and then what happened
Was it
was,
Beauty and the Beast?
yeah. So my cousin was staying with us, and who's like a couple of months younger than me, and him and my mom both wanted to see the Beauty and the Beast, so they dragged me to see this movie. So those are the two ones I was coerced to watch. Let's just say that.
I enjoyed both movies. I think I like The Little Mermaid a lot, but I think Beauty and the Beast was something different about that because of everything that was put under that spell, and I thought the characters were very creative in that movie. But that's just me, and that's also because I got that for a Christmas present. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. So
yeah, I remember thinking it was an okay film, but I don't know. I like
don't
the
know.
early.
You're a little hard to impress. Well, I mean, I impressed you with some movies.
I'm a good. I like some of the movies you've shown me. I really like Shrek and the sequel. I thought that those
Shrek
were
Shrek and Shrek 2 are great.
Yeah, Ever After, you showed me that. I really enjoyed that.
And you also liked A League of Their Own, and
I did.
You also liked 9 to 5. So I did pretty good for the most part in the movie department.
Yeah, it's just Disney movies. I'm not a big fan of kids movies, with some exceptions. Like the early Disney movies, Snow White and Pinocchio, I think are
yes,
class.
but there is a world beyond old Disney movies. There's other things too. I mean, you know what I haven't watched though, and I don't know how I'll be able to watch it. I haven't watched Fantasia, and I heard it's really visual.
I've heard it's great, but it's super visual from what I've heard too.
And I like Lady and the Tramp, the old Lady and the Tramp. I think it's a fun movie.
My mom liked that movie.
Yeah, especially when the two dogs are eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
The famous spaghetti.
I thought
scene.
What's the one they did? The 101 Dalmatians? Not the one that they did in the 90s, but the original one? Yeah. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, the original one was fun. The 90s one, I don't think I watched it, but the original one was great.
I remember I had this teacher who knew that I wasn't into family movies. Not family, but like Disney movies, I guess. I like family movies, but they have to be they have to be intelligent.
They have to have a story. They have to have a storyline, right?
Yeah, and I feel like with the Disney movies, oftentimes there's too many plot holes for me. But that's me. But anyways, I remember she comes in one day after the 101 Dalmatians remake comes out, and she's like, "Oh, and this film, just so you know, this film doesn't suck." And I hadn't said anything, but she kind of knew my personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I watched it once, and I actually liked it. But I think preferably I would have preferred the older movie.
Yeah, that one's good. So I do like some anime. And
there was one movie. The Toy Story sequels just got better and better with time, I think.
Yeah, it's just the original didn't really move me as far as the storyline.
The original, I think there could have been a little more story to it, because all it was about Andy's birthday and how Andy grew up with all these toys, but it didn't have a storyline to it. I wish it did.
And I actually thought that the fourth one was really good, and people were
I didn't know where it was
going
to go. I didn't know where it was going to go either. I'm like, why are they making a fourth one? But we watched it, and we've mentioned it in other recordings, in another recording, that it was really good. I really enjoyed it too.
I did, yeah. So it's not like I hate all kids movies. There are some really good ones.
I also thought it was really cool that they brought back Bo Peep, because we didn't know where she ended up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's some good kids movies, but not many.
Oh, you just haven't watched a lot of them, Bubs.
Oh, babes. One day, Jaylo, one day.
You haven't watched Frozen? That one's a good one. I like that one.
Okay, I have heard good things about it.
I never watched the second Frozen. I'm not sure if I'm going to watch it, but Frozen is really good.
That's a song, the movie with that song "Let It Go," right?
Yes, that was sung by Idina Menzel, who plays the voice of Elsa.
Yes.
And Kristen Bell plays the voice of Anna.
I really liked her in Veronica Mars, and in
Kristen Bell is
Forgetting Sarah Marshall Sea was good in that too. And I liked her in The Good Place, but that's one of those shows I watched a few episodes and I stopped, and I still don't know why I stopped. But it's on Netflix.
Yeah, why did you stop it? Oh, it's still there?
Yeah.
Didn't you say that was on NBC? Originally on NBC, and then they also stream it?
It's also on Netflix right now. I think it started off on NBC.
Okay.
But I need to get back to that show because I did really like it.
And you said it was a really creative, storyline a creative premise for the show.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good though. Yeah, I think she's super talented. I didn't know until she was in Frozen that she actually could sing, but apparently she does.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll get actors to come in and do the singing parts in films too. She
does it. She actually does it. I actually read her. I think I read her biography, and she has been in. She did some productions.
Very nice.
Yes. Yes, and Kristen Chenoweth actually does sing her part.
Yeah, that's her shtick, though, that she can sing. So I believe that.
Well, yeah, that's what she was. That's what she studied. She can sing. There are people that can actually sing, Bubs. I
know, babe. I'm just saying that not every actress who sings in the movie is actually doing that. A lot of it is over.
No, not every actress is, but these actresses are.
Okay.
It's okay.
Good for them. Good for them. But I'm glad you liked Coming to America.
Yeah, it was. Yes. Yes, it was funny.
It is. It's a great movie.
I like that part, especially when he comes back from a date with Lisa, and it's like 3:00 in the morning, and he's singing. And they're like, "Shut up! It's 3:00 in the morning."
Oh, when they move to Queens and they get this like rundown apartment.
Yeah, because he was gonna give them a really nice place. He's like, "No, we want an apartment that's really poor." Okay. or when the landlord decides to move to the apartment upstairs. So you can take my apartment. I'm going to move the one upstairs.
Good movie. Good movie.
Yes, very good movie.
So how many commercials did you have to watch? I
don't even know. I wish it was only, you know what they do in the Philippines that I noticed? I mean, and this is back 21 years ago when I last went there. They only have one commercial per break, which I think it should be that way.
Oh, that would be awesome.
One commercial per break, and then, yeah.
I think that Coming to America is on Netflix right now.
Ah.
So, like, this is a big difference between you and me. If I was there and Coming to America came on, I would probably Google Coming to America streaming and then go and watch it that way instead of watching it on TV.
Yes, I know, Bubs. I know. We've had this conversation many times.
Okay, babes. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes,
you should have watched
I know.
From the beginning. But that's okay, babes. I still love you.
Mm.
You remind me of an older time. Of a quainter America.
You're not scoring points.
Sorry, babe. I meant that in a good way.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it really a good way?
I think so.
Or are you being sarcastic?
I don't know. So, what did you do after finishing the series?
I went to sleep. I got ready to go to sleep.
Oh. Around what time?
Well, I actually didn't get to bed until, I think it might have been 12:30. But I was kind of lying there and, trying to get, relaxed. You know, sometimes when you lie down, but your mind can't shut off for a while. That was how it was with me last night. But as soon as I was ready to go to sleep, I was gone. I had a really weird dream too.
Tell me.
Do you want me to tell you now, or do you want me to wait till the end?
Let's mix it up a little bit.
Okay, it was odd. So I had this dream that this girl, who was supposed to be my friend, and I guess her name was Stephanie. And as far as I know right now, I don't have any close friends named Stephanie, unless you count the ones I went to school with. She was in California, and I heard that she got stabbed in her apartment, then was taken by the ambulance or whatever. Okay. Very sad, very, very disturbing. And then I called this local radio station in California, and I think the host was off the air, and she's like, "Excuse me, why are you calling me?" And I just start crying, and I said, I'm sorry, but I'm worried about my friend. I heard she was stabbed, and she was in her apartment in California, and I just want to make sure she's okay, and I want to get the story out because this isn't right, and I don't know what's going on." And so she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I'll do whatever I can to help you with this." And so somehow it gets out, and she ends up dying. And then I'm in this class. I'm not sure exactly what class it is.
Wait a second. The host ends up getting killed?
What?
You said she ends up dying. So does that mean it's the host or Stephanie?
No, the girl. No, Stephanie, the girl, dies.
Got it. Okay, keep going.
Not the host. She just said that she would help me in however I can to get the story out or whatever it is. And so somehow it gets out and she dies. And then I'm in this class. I don't know what kind of class it is, but I have to leave because I have to take a call. And it's this call from a woman from a news station. And she's like, "Yes, I'm calling from the news station, and I just want to ask you, why did you lie about your story?" And I said, "I didn't lie about anything." And then I woke up.
Wow.
It was very weird. It was very weird. I don't even know why I would dream about anybody being killed in their apartment or whatever it was. Maybe I've been watching too many mysteries. I don't know.
That's possible. Because you do like a lot.
I do, but I don't think about them really a lot. I don't.
Well, I mean, some people say that you can only watch something disturbing so long before it starts to take over your life. So, like, the argument against showing kids, like, gruesome videos, like maybe, I don't know, the Faces of Death films, is that if you show somebody too much of that, they'll eventually turn and start to emulate that type of life.
Well, that might be true, but that's not, that's different than, them watching and hearing about mysteries. If you're not actually seeing what happened, you're hearing about what happened, but you don't see it. Although I will say this, the friend I told you about, she was a woman who died 3 years ago, And before she died,
Mm-hmm.
she was really into true crime stuff, but it got to the point to where it was,
It was what?
oh, I forgot it. And anyway, yeah.
Oh, you have a relative in the room.
That's what she was.
Oh. So are you in the family room?
Oh.
We're going to get back to that.
No, I'm not.
Alana. You're not in the family room?
No, I'm not. I'm in the other bedroom.
But your relative just came in?
Yes.
Oh. What's going on there?
No, I just forgot something in the bathroom, that's all.
Oh.
Anyway.
Your friend who died and who was in the true crime.
Very much in the true crime, but she was like, I think it's because, maybe part of it is because her mind was going, but she was really thinking about it a lot. Like, more than I would think about it. I don't really think about it in my everyday life. I just watch it and I think, ooh, this is really insane. But it doesn't take over my life to the point where I think about it all the time.
I do like true crime books, and I used to watch a lot of those types of shows, like the Datelines and 48 Hours, but I noticed that my anxiety level was high, and since I've cut most of those shows out of my life, it's gone down a lot. Now, having said that, one could also make the argument that there's been a lot of other life changes that have helped me become less afraid. And oddly enough, when you called me this morning, I was in the middle of a true crime book. So I'm probably not one to talk, but you may want to consider cutting back your Dateline consumption, or just accepting that you're going to have crazy dreams.
Okay. Well, I mean, I personally, I just like listening to them just because they're interesting to me, but I don't obsess over it. And I think with everybody, people's minds are different when it comes to anxiety. Either it's severe or it's not something that somebody worries about.
Yeah, I'm reading the new John Douglas book, and he was is a former FBI profiler who would help track down serial killers. Mm-hmm. Some years ago, he wrote this book called Mindhunter, and Netflix actually adapted it into a TV series that had 2 seasons. It's a really good book, but that's not the one I'm reading. I'm reading his new one about this guy in like the late 70s who went around killing people. And I think the book is saying that he's the guy who shot and paralyzed Larry Flint.
Wow. I can't believe, remember that story I told you about that guy that I met who was in a documentary about this serial killer named, I think his name was Jesse Ray?
That's what you remember his name being, but we don't know that for sure. I remember you saying something.
Yeah, he was in a documentary, and he was the same guy that accidentally ran over my cane.
Wow. Nice.
Nice guy though. Very nice guy, but he told me that because he wanted to make sure that I got to school okay, because I was just crossing the street and I knew somebody was coming towards me, and I just thought, okay, I better go do something, otherwise my leg's going to get run over. Anyway, but he offered to take me to school in his truck, and I'm thinking, I don't know this guy. This guy is a documentary about some serial killer. I don't know what I was thinking, you know. I typically don't, wander off in strangers' vehicles.
Especially if they're friends with serial killers, but you made an exception.
No, I didn't go into his truck. I just walked with him to school.
Oh, okay, because I noticed like the stories with you saying, I usually don't do this thing, or usually follow this, but this time I made an exception.
No, I told you I didn't go into his truck.
Okay. Good.
No, I asked him if we could just walk because I said, I just met you. I don't really feel comfortable sitting in your truck. And then the next period after the class I went to, he bought me a new cane, and that was that. I thought that was really nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool, because he's like, I felt so bad. It was like, I felt really bad, and I said, it's okay, it was a mistake, and it was an old one anyway.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I could bear to part with it.
Yeah.
It was either that get run over or my leg get run over.
Yeah, I'd rather lose the cane at that point.
Yeah, better the cane than me.
Yes, babe, boys.
Yes.
I had a fairly good night's sleep last night. Well, first of all, I finished the Lyndon Johnson book, the first part of the long 4-part biography. Then I went to sleep around 10:30 or 11, woke up at 4:18, listened to the radio for a while, got up, immediately started cleaning, and got some meditation in. I just feel like I've been on this positive track this morning.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I cleaned my sink with baking soda. Have you ever done that?
No, but I have been cleaning things with lately with water and white vinegar.
Yeah, that's helpful. I've done that before.
Yes, but I still stand by my Melaleuca cleaners, but I haven't been using them for a while because I was using water and white vinegar. I can't remember how much cups you need for that. I think it's like
half an
cup
right?
of water. Half cup of water and a half cup of white vinegar, I think. I'm not sure. It could be true. And then I told you about the how apple cider vinegar is really good for your scalp.
Yes, you have.
I've been using that a lot when I washed my hair. When I've been washing my hair, and it's gotten thicker.
I like that, babe.
It's getting thicker. Yeah, there's some hair growing in, so I'm really happy about that.
Good.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel on this positive momentum today. And I read the introduction to the second volume of the Lyndon Johnson book. So I think after I finish the one now that I'm reading now, I'm going to go straight into the other book about Lyndon Johnson.
Okay.
Have you ever been interested in studying the life of a president? And I'm not talking about somebody who's currently in office.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which one. No, but maybe I that would be really interesting. That would be very interesting. I'm interested in studying something like that, or studying books about memory, because I think memory is like really fascinating to me.
Yes.
How to preserve it, what happens when you get into a serious accident, because I heard some things about you can regrow brain cells. You just have to work really hard at it because of the brain cells you lost. You can strengthen your, cerebral cortex, I think?
I guess so.
I don't remember what all the names of all the parts of the brain, but you can strengthen your brain.
So have you decided what's going to be next on your reading list?
Well, let's see. I do want to read The Faith Healers, but if I can't read that yet, then I want to read 2 George Orwell books, and we've already discussed it, Animal Farm and 1984. Now that I'm a little bit older, and because I tried reading 1984 when I was 17, 18 years old, and I just couldn't get it. I didn't understand it. It was very strange.
So it's between those 3 books then.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Whatever one you choose, I will read with you.
Okay.
Or reread, because I've read all of it.
Yes. I recommend, because when I was a junior, my goal was to read as many classics. I recommend that you read The Great Gatsby, because I really like that book. You might like it.
I've read
you?
it. Yeah.
Okay. I
thought it was more like The Okay Gatsby. But keep going.
Okay, Gatsby. Did you ever read Little Women?
No, but I've seen the movie.
No, you have to read the book.
Okay.
You have to read the book now.
But my reading list, babe, is already so long that I'm not going to get to everything that I already have. So, for example, what?
That's why you shouldn't have humongous reading lists when you know you're not going to get through all of them.
No. But for example, last week, as you know, I got a new phone a while ago, but I finally transferred my ebooks onto this phone, and it was something like 6,000 ebooks. And then
my goodness.
Last night I decided to take a look and see how long my Bard reading list is, just to see instead of just like saying it's this long. I have 1,271 books.
Mine isn't even close. Mine isn't even close.
How many?
It's been a while since I checked because I have to, I haven't been on the Bard site for a while, but I probably have at least like 4, I'm guessing.
Okay.
5,
so
maybe more than that.
So like 6,000 books on my phone, another 1,271 on Bard.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, we're not done with all the lists. Overdrive, I think it's like 190 books, and Bookshare, it's around like 200 also.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay, you either have to clean out your list or,
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but come on though, you're not going to get through all of them, and I know there's some you want to read.
I know that. I came to terms with that about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I already knew I'm not finishing all the books that I want to read in my lifetime. But yet the list just keeps growing and growing.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's why I don't make any. That's why I don't have huge lists. I just have a few, and then I just go through them and decide if I want to read them or not. And if I don't want to read them, I just delete them, and I just read what I want to read. I just, because I have like a bunch of Mary Higgins Clark books on my reading list, and.
Well, I don't have any of those. But you know how I am. If I hear about a book that sounds interesting, I'm like, let me have that one to the list.
Telling you OCD's crazy.
Oh, it is. It just means I like to read. I'm a little bit than some people.
Hey, I'm not, are you saying I'm illiterate?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
You just
You're not implying that I'm illiterate. Is that what you're saying?
Well, only 4 books on your reading list, though. That is interesting. Yeah, Jaylo.
Yeah, but I just don't make huge lists. I think it's just counterproductive because.
Well, babe, it's not like I'm keeping them all in my memory. That would be crazy.
Well, that's still crazy that I have these huge lists and you know you're not going to get. I mean, what's the point in making these lists if you're not going to read them all? I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Just in case, I don't know. You're not the first person.
Honestly, this is just driving me nuts. This is where I think you are very incorrect on this.
Why?
Which is way too extreme. Way too obsessive.
Because I like books.
No, you like them so much that there are books on your list that you still have to read, and you haven't even gone through all of them yet.
Well, again, I don't think I'm ever going to get the list down to 0. If I do, it means that there's been some huge breakthrough in medical technology, and we can now live to be like 1,000 years old.
I just don't see why you should have them if you're not going to read all of them and you just have to whittle them down to a few books.
Yeah,
and then you just and then you read as you go along. It's not that hard.
But suffice it to say, I don't think I'll be reading Little Women anytime soon.
No.
Yes, babes. Yes, babes. But we got some good books to look forward to.
I honestly think you should, but don't put that on your list.
Okay, babes. What? Yeah. Okay.
Don't put it on your list because it's going to stay on your list. It's never going to leave it.
No, books leave my list. That's not true.
Really?
I mean, I'm not going to get through every book, but it's not true to say that books never leave my list. I'll give you an example. The Lyndon Johnson book or the volumes have been on my list for, 8 years now?
Wow.
And I finally finished the first volume. So they do, it's not like the list is, like nothing ever leaves it.
That's crazy. I don't know. Ugh. I don't know. I don't understand sometimes, folks.
Oh, I just like to read, babes.
No, you like to read, but there are things that you haven't. You like to read so much, like to make amazingly huge lists to where you don't think you're going to finish all of them. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because I'm passionate.
But
do you have? Go ahead.
Such is life, I guess.
Do you have any big readers in your family?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are. I think I read more than my my sisters even.
Oh.
Yeah. And I don't think I've become really like a big reader until later in until my teens and 20s, and then after that I'm like, oh, I like that. But then there were years where I didn't read a lot of leisure stuff because I was in school, so I had to read a lot of textbooks or books that were required for reading. But those days are gone.
Glad to hear that, Jaylo.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. So back to my question. Do you think you'll ever read a biography of a former president?
It's possible. It's possible. I took this like political science class. I didn't know that until after I took it because of the title was a little bit misleading. I thought it was a history class, but it wasn't.
But wait a second. You didn't know what a class...
Hold on.
You mean after you finished the class, you knew that there was a poli-sci class?
No. In the beginning of the class, not after I finished it.
Go ahead, Dave.
You really should, be quiet until I'm finished.
But that's what you said. So, okay. Or at least that's what I heard.
I wasn't... If you would have let me finish, I would have explained it to you.
All right, somebody's a little bit...
But what I was going to say after I was so rudely interrupted is that, and I'm just joking, Buzz.
Yes.
It's that my professor said that he liked Calvin Coolidge, so maybe I'll read a biography on Calvin Coolidge one time.
If you do, I'd be interested to read about him because, other than knowing that he worked in radio before he became president, I don't know a lot about him. So
I don't know either.
That'd be something to find out about.
Yeah, I don't know much about him either.
You could also join me in the 4-part Lyndon Johnson biographies at some time if you want to.
Ah.
Yes.
Lyndon biography.
Yes.
I'm glad you're enjoying it though, because I don't know, I heard some mixed things about Lyndon Johnson.
He was a mixed president. He did some really bad things, but he also did some awesome things. You know. Most presidents are like that, though. You know, with very few exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like George W. Bush is pretty much just a bad president.
Yeah, but you would say that about any Republican, I think.
That is not true. I would not say that about any Republican. His father, George H.W. Bush, did some good stuff. But I haven't really had a lot of good things to say about the Bushes either, so I don't have a lot of good things to say about establishment Republicans. Well, you know, babe,
not just that, you know.
Once somebody becomes the leader of the party, they are establishment, just so you know.
No, they're not. There is a difference.
If you're the leader of the free world, you're establishment.
There is a difference. There is a difference between professional Republicans and professional Democrats and people that have recently become Republicans or Democrats that have never had any political that have never had any dealings with politics even before that. Right. So there is a difference.
Once you hold a political office,
there is a difference.
Once you hold a political office, you are establishment.
No, that's not true. That is not true. That is not true.
Especially when you're holding the highest office.
That is not true. That is not true, because there are Republicans that are not a part of the establishment, as well as Democrats that are not a part of the establishment, and they don't want any part of any of them that are only for themselves, and that they will take any kind of donation for their own benefits or whatever it is. Like, we can go on and on and on about whoever it is, like Nancy Pelosi, for example. We can go on and on. We can go on and on about that, but there is a difference.
I think when you take political office, you become establishment, in my opinion.
No, you don't. You have to be in there for years and years and years. You have to be. Joe Biden is an establishment Democrat.
Yeah, I agree.
Lindsey Graham is an establishment Republican.
Yes.
Mitch McConnell is an establishment Republican, and I honestly don't see. I honestly don't think very highly of the two of them.
That's good. Neither do I.
But there are people that have been. But there are. Hold on. But there are people that have been in politics for a long time that are not a part of the establishment, and there are certain characteristics of establishment people.
Okay, so let's take Bernie Sanders, for example.
Oh my.
What?
Do we have to go here now?
I thought you wanted to talk about it.
Does it always have to be Bernie?
Okay, we don't have to take Bernie for an example. Sorry, babes.
I wasn't actually planning to have a political discussion, actually.
We don't have to go there then, babes. We don't have to go
Okay, good. We're not then. But no, I was going to say, before we got on this rabbit hole, I was going to say that I heard some mixed things about Lyndon Johnson.
No, there are mixed things, and that's what I said. He's not an entirely good guy, but he's not a complete villain either. He's a mixed bag. And that's the case with pretty much every politician you'll find. With some exceptions who are really bad, like, Reagan was really bad. What?
Reagan? Okay, we're not going to go there. I have a differing opinion on that. But then you also have to remember too that I was.
Obama was a big Reagan.
Some weird number keeps calling me, and it's like 833. Do you know what area code that is?
No. Don't give out any numbers. Sorry. Well.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to give out any numbers.
Okay, good. Sorry. I don't know what that means.
No. I was finished.
Okay.
I wasn't going to give out a number. In fact, I forgot the number. I just said that it was from a weird area code that I have no idea what that's from.
Oh, so oftentimes what I'll do is I'll Google an area code, and sometimes it'll come up as like a scam number. And then what I'll do, if somebody doesn't leave a message but they keep calling me, I'll block their phone number.
I think I'll do that because this has been happening more than once, and I don't. No, I don't know where that's coming from. It doesn't sound like any number that. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think whoever calls from that same number won't even talk. It's very weird.
That is strange.
I know.
Yes.
No, I wasn't going to give out a full number. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I wasn't sure, babes. I wasn't sure.
That's why you should be quiet before I'm finished.
Well, babes, you want to let me a walk, babes. And I know with your hearing disorder, things can be difficult.
My hearing is fine, thank you very much. I'm going to get you. You know that I have some pent up tickling that I haven't
Hey, babe.
yet.
Hey, babes, you know you're going to get me?
What?
A cake.
A cake. Well, that may be later. That is an idea.
Oh, good. Well, if I was there, babes, I'd kiss you to calm me down. So, just so you know.
Really? You think it's gonna calm me down?
Why not? Why not, babes?
As long as you
outside my window. It's crazy in the middle of the day. I hear this train outside my window.
No, I was asking you because for some reason, sometimes I would hear you, but my phone would cut out.
Oh, that's weird.
See, I actually did hear that you were saying something, but then it's weird because sometimes either your phone would cut out or my phone would cut out. I don't know.
Interesting.
So it's not like my ears aren't working, Bubs.
Sometimes they're not, babes.
What else?
Okay, babes, okay. Yes. But, well, we got off of the topic of debating the president, though, so that's good. But Reagan sucks. Or did.
What else?
But you don't really know much about Reagan, do you?
Well, that's another president I'd like to read about too, but that's because I was, at that time, he went into office from 80 to 84, and then 84 to 88. Is that correct? I think that's right.
You could just basically say...
I know bits and pieces about him because, I heard some things that he has said, that he used to be an actor, but he decided to get into politics, and he used to be a Democrat, and then he sounds like an interesting person I'd like to read about, besides Coolidge.
Help push cocaine to, low-income neighborhoods in this country.
I don't believe you on that one. I really don't think he did that.
Homeless population.
Okay, Bubs, do you think it's possible, Bubs?
I do think it is.
The left, Bubs, no, I wasn't finished. You see, you don't listen to me until... You're being ornery this morning. Or this afternoon.
So I will. Keep going.
Are you going to listen?
I always do. Keep going, babes.
What else? You didn't listen to me earlier?
So I didn't remember that. Babes, keep going.
You're busy hammering away. Anyway, is it possible that the leftist media of that time was trying to spin a false narrative on a president they didn't like? Because they've done that to Republicans many a time.
And they've also done that to Democrats many times, too. Anything is possible, Dave, but in this case, I think it's highly unlikely. You can do research to yourself into the Iran-Contra scandal. I believe a number of people, including some high up in the military, went to prison over it.
Because it sounds, the reason why I don't think it's true is because why would a president and his wife have this Just Say No campaign in the middle of the 80s? Because they were very much, as far as I know, they were very much against drugs. And why would he then go and push cocaine into low-income neighborhoods? Don't you think that might have been somebody else?
And use it to fund the Contras in Nicaragua.
Yeah, but don't you also think that it could have been because the media because the leftist media didn't like him anyway, and so they were just going to smear him?
The way
they've done it before. They've done it with the Bushes.
I thought you said
I don't
you
even like the Bushes. I don't like the Bushes, but I don't like the Bushes.
First of all, the media pretty much gave the Bushes a free pass when it came to things that were important, like the wars that they started, with some exceptions. The media pretty much just like let them slide on things, and they're still doing it to this day, and including up to political figures like Barack Obama, who has tried to whitewash the image of George W. Bush. But that's another story entirely. I don't think that the media is out to get the legacy of Ronald Reagan. Because again, people do get.
I think they are. I really do. I think even now more so today, I think they are.
No.
I mean, they've always made up stuff. They've always said that that Republicans don't want clean water and that they want to throw grandma off of a cliff and they don't care about the children. I mean, it's always been a false narrative.
I've never heard they want to throw grandma off of a cliff. But
yeah, they've done that. I mean, you know, Al Gore was one of the people that have had said all these narratives about. I mean, it's one of them, not all of them, not just the news media, but any establishment Democrat will give you the same narrative of Republicans of not being compassionate for children, not wanting children to have good food or clean water or clean air or whatever it is.
Here's something I would invite you.
Killing grandma and throwing her off the cliff. I mean, it's all the same.
But here's something I would invite you to consider, babe. The media being harsh on Ronald Reagan, outside of the fact that people went to jail over this, which I've said a couple of times now, but Joe Biden has bragged about working with Ronald Reagan on things like the war on drugs, right? So you have the Democratic president, who the establishment media loves, talked about how proud he was to work with Ronald Reagan. You have
and by the way, before we go on, because I really want this political discussion to be over.
Yeah,
how do you know for a fact that what Joe Biden said about Ronald Reagan, bragging about working with Ronald Reagan, is true? Because he lied about being in the top of his class. He lied about being in the military.
Well,
I mean, there's so many.
I don't know if he lied about those things.
Yes, he did. He lied about being in the military. He lied about being at the top of his class.
Okay, so are you going to let me answer this question, babe? One, I don't know that those things are true, but let's say for the sake of this discussion that they are. We know about that because, there's no incentive for him to brag about working somebody that should be despised by the left. What's the end game?
Since when did Joe Biden care about the war on drugs? That's what I want to know.
There's an interesting article, I believe the Overcast did it, about Joe Biden didn't think that the war on drugs was strong enough. But anyway.
Well, yeah, but Joe Biden is Joe Biden's something else.
Yes. And if you ever want to have fun, babe, Google Democrats who have quoted Ronald Reagan in their speeches. So I think this idea that the media is out to get the legacy of Ronald Reagan is just a little bit absurd, but I still love you.
I don't think it's absurd at all. They may not be mentioning it a lot, but I don't think it's absurd at all. I don't.
Oh, well, I still love you, babes. But you should do some actual research instead of just saying this stuff off the top of your head.
I actually, even if I didn't research what you recommended me to research, doesn't mean I haven't been doing any research. I may be doing other research on other things, but it doesn't mean that.
But we could read a book on Reagan sometime.
On Reagan.
And he actually did some good stuff. Like when I said he didn't do anything, I was kind of exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah, you exaggerate a lot.
No, but by most accounts, he did help in the Cold War with Russia.
Yeah, you exaggerated a lot on account of your bias.
Oh, I don't have. Well, maybe I do, but so do you, babe.
Yes, you do. You got leftist bias.
Yeah, but you got.
Cure you of that.
But babe, you got an extreme.
I will do my best to cure you of that sickness you have.
Don't you agree that you also have an extreme bias?
I don't believe I do.
Right. So,
there is a difference between bias and there is a difference between actual factual information.
Right, but you're leaning heavily in the direction of bias, so. But I still.
No, I think you are. I think you are leaning in the heavy direction of bias.
Well, some people have to.
No, some people are trained to be mindless robots that can't think for themselves.
Oh, well, I'm sorry you like that, babes, but I still love my mind.
No, I was talking about other people.
Oh.
Not me. I am not a mindless robot.
But you won't pick up a history book. Your default is...
That's enough.
Okay,
we are done.
Okay, alright. I love you, babe. What? You could say you love me too.
No.
Why not? Oh, come on, Jay. Well, you know you want to say you love me.
Okay, I love you too, Bugs.
Okay,
you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
So are you. So I'm be careful. Yes.
No cake for you.
Oh, it is. So,
yeah.
I did something this morning. I decided to randomly check at the delivery times on both Instacart and Walmart. Around 9. And I think Instacart said that they could have an order here within 5 hours. And I looked on Walmart and they said that the earliest time was like on Wednesday morning at 8. So I'm getting the sense that, Instacart is more expensive, but they're a little bit easier to get a delivery from.
I don't even think it's that much more expensive than Walmart unless you have the only reason why it isn't expensive for you is because you're a Walmart, you are an official Walmart member. I just have an account with them.
Okay, but the last time I ordered from Instacart, and I've only done it a few times, I got 9 items and it cost me $84.
From where?
From Fred Meyer.
Okay. I wonder if it's because usually I can get like 12 or 13 items for that much, but it depends. Maybe it's just depending on the price, I guess. I don't know. And what were you buying?
Well, that was the time I got that turkey. That was like 22 pounds.
Yeah, see, that's part of it, Bubs. If you didn't get meat, then it probably would cost you even less.
That's true. It would cost me $37.
See, Bubs, that was Bubs, 22 pounds? Really?
Well, babes, I wanted to get a 12-pound one, but the lady was there. She said they only have a 22-pound one, so that's what I got.
Oh, man. Well, you didn't have to get it right away. You could have just gotten it, I don't know, like, later.
I didn't know how to cancel an item from Instacart, so.
Oh,
Well, wait a
it's not
second.
that hard, but...
Okay, this is going to sound dumb. Could you just tell the person getting the order, hey, skip the turkey?
So what you could do is, this is what I do instead of telling the person to cancel it, is before I check out, I look at my list, and if there's something I don't want, I go to the list and I just decrease the item or remove it.
Okay, but that's before they start shopping, right?
Right. I would recommend that if there's something on your list that you don't want, look at it first before you officially check out.
Right, but what I'm saying is the lady was in the store and told me that they didn't have the 12-pound turkey.
You could have told her not to. You could have told her not to replace it. I'm sorry.
Okay,
you could. Yeah.
That's what I asked originally, but I wasn't getting a sweet answer from you.
Yeah, you could have told her just don't replace it. I'll get one later.
Okay, babes, I know now.
Oh my goodness, that's okay.
And when I said okay, it set off my Google.
Your Google.
Yes, babes.
Mm-hmm.
Alana.
Yes.
I, as you know, like 90s hip hop.
As do I. Some.
You like Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I mean, I like a mixture of stuff.
But what do you think about them specifically?
About them? You said TLC,
yeah.
And who was the other one?
Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I don't know any of them.
Okay. They did a song back in 1992 called They Reminisce Over You. And I really enjoyed the song. For many years, it was my default ringtone. Then I switched over to the iPhone, and it's a little bit harder to have a ringtone unless you pay for it. So I was without my favorite ringtone. And then finally over this weekend, I put it back on my phone, and we're now back to rocking that song whenever anybody calls me. And
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm very glad to have that song back in my life.
Cool.
So when I come over to your house on Friday, maybe somebody will call and you'll get to hear it.
Ah.
It's like,
you
might know, you thought I what?
No, but I thought you put your phone on vibrate sometimes.
I do. You know what I mean, babes. You'll get to hear it. It's like, you might know the tune that goes da 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 da. Do you know that?
I believe so.
Great.
I would have to hear it.
And I'm glad it's back on my phone.
Yeah.
Can you put ringtones on your phone or no?
I think I have to buy it, and I haven't figured that out. I never had like the actual song as my ringtone because I didn't know how to do that. Like the only closest thing I had was the digital version of "The Whole World" by Outkast. Dun 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 dun. Well, yeah, but I did not. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. I'm sure that there's a way to do it. I'll probably have better luck once I eventually have a smartphone.
Yes. Very good, Jaylo.
Did you have to download your ringtone? How did that work?
No, so I have a copy of the song, and I took the instrumental part where it has the beat and CL Smooth is going, I reminisce, and I edited that out of the song and sent it to myself, and then I set that as my default ringtone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like a 30-second clip of the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Great
Very
song,
good.
babes. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. So they did a lot of good music. Keep rockin', feel smooth.
There's one, there's a Carly Simon song that I really like called, Anticipation. That would be a good, ringtone.
You know what other song I thought about using as a ringtone is, Mass Appeal by Gangstar.
Okay.
You don't seem that impressed, babes.
No.
Okay.
No. There's a lot of artists that I don't even, know about because I wasn't as far into hip hop as you were.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Well, I feel sorry for you about that, babes.
Hey!
What?
What do you mean you feel sorry for me?
That you didn't get to experience this vibrant music before the rise of autotunes.
Ugh. Auto-tunes. I hope that eventually they do away with those things because it just doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it if it was occasionally on the track, but it's like every song now is auto-tuned, it feels like.
It's so annoying, and that's why I don't listen to a lot of pop stuff anymore, because it's like, oh, it sounds terrible. I just don't understand. Like, I heard that some people use auto-tunes because they have a hard time singing in tune, and they use it to kind of even out their tones or something, but it just sounds terrible now.
I agree, Jaylo.
Yes.
I agree.
And some of the artists are just like, to me anyway, they don't seem very original. And they almost sound the same.
They do sound the same.
I don't know, they just don't have originality anymore. There's no longer, I don't even know how the songwriting process goes.
That's right, babes. Well, luckily we still have all songs. Yes.
Yes, and the independent stuff out there is really good.
That's true.
Really good. If we didn't want to listen to any of the other new pop stuff that's coming out, well, some of it is good, but some of it isn't. So it's kind of like as
far as pop goes.
I was talking to somebody about that, and she really likes Leon Bridges. She's like, I love Leon Bridges. I'm like, yeah, he's really good. Really good. And she was the family friend I told you about.
Gotcha.
She likes Leon Bridges, and she also likes, I also told her about the California Honey Drops. And in fact, she was in the car with her friend, I think, and she heard that song When It Was Wrong.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my goodness, I was talking to somebody about this group, and I'm like, yep, the California Honey Drops are great.
Did you tell her that your favorite person in the world got to see them live?
I certainly did. I said, yeah, I said my boyfriend got to hear them live at the Blues Festival, and he said they were really good.
And I had no clue who they were before they came on. Then
they're so good.
They are.
Oh, they are so good, and their style is. That would be great if they did a set with Leon Bridges, singing with them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
Or if they did like an album together.
Oh, that would be great. Or if they performed live together.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what would be a really good mix? You know what would be a really good mix if what's the group's name? Honey Honey?
Yes.
If Honey Honey and Samantha Fish did a set together. Wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be really cool. Oh, I'm so bummed, Dave, that we didn't get to go and see Samantha Fish because she was going to come to, I want to say the Aladdin Theater at the end of May, and I was getting ready to get tickets for it when the pandemic hit. I was so looking forward to seeing her again.
Yeah, I understand. Well, just be thankful that you got to see her. I mean, I never got to see her yet.
Yeah, and she was another one of those people, when I went to her show, it was just like another concert to me. I didn't know her stuff, but because she was at the Blues Fest, I was just walking around, decided to stop. She came out on stage and just blew my mind away.
And where did you hear about Honey Honey?
They've been on Joe Rogan a bunch of times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. I think they would be great as a combination set. I think that would be so cool.
Yes, babes.
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, I can't remember. Are you a fan of The Roots?
Yeah, I like a little bit of their stuff, yeah.
So here's something that a lot of people don't know. You know when Jay-Z did his Unplugged album in like 2001?
I think so, yes.
The backup band for that album is The Roots.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's just something to think about, babes.
And they also, I don't watch the Tonight Show like I used to, but they do play for the Tonight Show now.
Yeah, I've heard that. I try not
But
to.
I will say this. So, that one song, Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke, the Roots version of it with Jimmy Fallon, but they were using these school instruments, I thought which was kind of cool. I think they're a talented backup band.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're really good. And some of them sing with the artists. But if you want to look up something fun on YouTube, look up the song Blurred Lines with school instruments. I think it's still on there. It's really cool how they do that.
That sounds a little bit too like silly and G-rated for me, but I guess I could see where some people might like that.
Don't knock it till you listen to it, Bubs. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't knock it till you listen to it. You do that a lot, Bubs.
What do I do?
You always do that. Every time, sometimes when I recommend stuff, you're like, yeah, it sounds silly.
It does. It sounds like a way of co-opting something that's aggressive and making it.
Don't knock it till you try. Don't knock it till you listen to it. That's all I'm saying.
All right, babes.
No,
I'm not. By the way, I'm not really a huge fan of the song anyway. But maybe
I don't know. I just think it sounds cool. Sounds cool.
Yes, babes.
That's all, Bubs. I'm just asking you to expand your horizons in listening. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but at least you listen to it.
I guess I could give it a shot at some point.
At some point. Listen to you.
What?
Listen to you. At some point. Is that doubt?
Hey, babes.
Do I hear doubt?
I'm just curious. Have you finished season 3 of BoJack Horseman yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I've seen. I kind of go up. Like I told you, I'm going back and forth with this because I've already seen enough of it, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to continue.
But it gets so much better.
It's just super dark. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I maybe I will. I'm not even sure about Rick and Morty either.
See, and that's the way I feel about seeing the Roots do Blurred Lines.
Yeah, but that's different. That's different. I mean, it doesn't have to be Blurred Lines. It could be another song. I'm just saying.
Okay. It's something to think about.
It isn't as if it isn't as if I'm talking about a series. It's totally different.
Yes, babes.
I'm just saying, Bubs.
Okay, babes. I hear you, babes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, babes. You're welcome, Jaylo.
Okay.
You come back to Portland by yourself in 2 days.
I do.
Are you excited, nervous, sad?
Well, I'm a little bit sad just because I haven't been by myself in a while, but I'll get over it. I know I'll get over it. But I'm not so sad because I'm going to be coming back, in just a few weeks.
Just a few weeks? Oh, you mean, that's right. After Christmas, you're going back to see.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was your fault, Buff. It was your fault.
Oh, I so love you, babes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, babes.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm glad. Yes.
You're glad that what?
It will be good to be back in my lair, as I call it.
Your den of sin, as I refer to it.
Den of sin?
Yes.
Who says that except for you? I just call it my lair.
And I call it your den of sin.
That's yours.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Den of sin, shmen of sin. That's yours, bud.
Oh my goodness. You get to listen to a lot of good music. I'm surprised, going back to the California Honey Drops for a second, that their music has actually been played on the radio, according to your family friends.
No, I think what she was saying was they might have had it on a playlist or something. I don't know if it was on the radio, honestly.
Gotcha. For some reason, that's the impression I got from you, but I could be incorrect.
But I do know that I have heard Leon Bridges on the radio, which I thought was really good.
Oh, wow.
And they were playing one of my favorite songs of his, Beyond.
That's a great song.
That's such a good song. It actually reminds me of you, Bubs, because you introduced me to him.
That's right, Jaylo. So was this community radio or commercial?
I don't even remember. I don't remember because I think I was on my way home and I heard it on the radio, but I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Nice, babes.
Such a good song.
Yes, it is.
And he just has, and the way that he sings, he just sounds like he could have been in Motown. His voice just sounds so sophisticated, and it doesn't sound like any voice I could ever, any young voice that I could think of. But it just sounds so different.
Very soulful guy, it seems like.
He doesn't sound like an Usher, or he doesn't sound like a Genuine. Not that they're bad or anything, but he sounds such like an old soul. You know what I mean when he sings?
Yeah. See, that's odd that the modern music I like is pretty much sounds like old Motown stuff.
I love that stuff. Yeah, I love stuff that sounds so old-timey.
Yeah.
That it brings you back to a time where things were different and music was different. And I what is that one song he does called? I think it said like "Take Me to the River" or.
That's a great song. I think it's just called "The River."
Good song, yes.
Yes. Yes, Gibbs.
Yes, and and he said he was still pretty young.
I think he's like 31 or 32.
Wow.
Yep.
He just doesn't sound like he's in his 30s.
Nope.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you will. Yes.
Yes, Bye.
Yes, you will. So, babes.
Yes.
What do you got planned for the rest of the day?
I got to send a couple emails. Yeah, I've got to get online. I've kind of been, I've kind of been away from that, so I need to get back online. Yeah. And what else am I gonna do? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. What are you gonna do?
I am gonna do some more cleaning, get back to my book, and that's probably about it. Maybe watch some YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched YouTube in a while either, or Netflix for that matter.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on Netflix right now. I'm really enjoying Lucifer. I'm in the middle of the second season. I finished The Queen's Gambit, which was really good. I'm enjoying my subscription.
Yes, very good. Yes. Very good.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
No, but we had quite a conversation, didn't we?
We did. We could argue about politics a little bit more if you want.
No, I don't really want to do that.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Okay. Because we could go on for another couple hours just talking about
No! Yeah, I'm sure that would make one of... Yeah, I'm sure that would make one of your friends happy, but I'm not here to impress any of your friends.
Okay. I don't think the word I'd use is impressed, but
okay, I'm sure it would what's the word would that be? What word would that be?
Entertain.
Entertain, yes. But I'm not here to entertain any of your friends.
Okay. Sounds good, babe. Sounds good. Do you think... I don't know if I said
what?
That. Do you think that Trump will leave office peacefully?
Why are we going back to this?
All right, never mind. Forget it.
I said no. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, babe. I love you, babe.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're gonna get it. Like I said, Buzz, I'm not here to entertain anybody.
Okay, babes. Okay. Well, babes.
Yes.
I think we had some fun.
Yes.
We've laughed.
Yes.
We've cried. We've argued.
Cried? Who cried?
You did when I pointed out reality. We argued.
I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
I thought you did.
You have not once seen me or heard me cry before.
That's true.
I hope that doesn't happen for a long time.
Yeah, and I hope it's a good reason too. You know, it's
I'm
not
sure
like,
I'm sure there would be a good reason why I would cry.
Death of Jennifer Aniston.
What?
From dementia.
Why? Okay. Why is it that you always have to bring her up in at least one of our conversations?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I was not aware that I did that.
I do not think about Jennifer Aniston. I just like her in some things, but I'm not like obsessed over it.
Okay, good.
Like apparently you are obsessed over it.
Oh, babes.
But what I will say is I am going on Wednesday will be bittersweet, but it'll be good to be back in my apartment.
And it'll be good for me to be back in your apartment, babes.
If I let you back in.
Oh, you're going.
Should I?
Come on, babes. Yeah, babes. Oh.
All right, I will.
By the way, what should we make on Friday? Or do you want to talk about that later?
Why don't we talk about that later this evening?
Okay.
I have some ideas. It's possible I might have some things to share with you, and we won't have to make anything for one of the days.
Okay.
But why don't we talk about that later?
We could do that.
Okay, good.
Okay, babes.
Yes.
Well, I love you, Jaylo.
I love you too, Bubs.
Oh, good.
And I hope everyone has a very good Monday.
Yes, even though this will not be out on Monday, but
Okay, we'll be out on Monday, but
it's a philosophical thing.
It's not philosophical. We're recording this on a Monday.
Okay, good point.
Another point for Jaylo.
Okay, babes. Gross possible everything. Well, I love you, babes.
Yes, I love you too.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Nothing except that you said that like 3 times already.
All right, babes. Well, I guess we'll say that.
You asked me that like 3 times.
Okay. Just trying to, finish this thing.
No, I'm just giving you a hard time, bud.
You want to have some phone sex?
No!
It's on a good note.
No.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask, for your sake.
For my sake, okay.
I would have said
okay.
no, but I just wanted to see. What?
Alright. That's enough.
Alright, babes, I love you.
I love you, and I will talk to you later, and hope everyone has a good day.
Yes. Me too.
Okay.
Alright, babes.
Well, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.